Good morning. Today we get to talk about our identity in Christ. It's the fourth week of us talking about our identity. And as I was getting ready to talk about this, something happened in the women's ministry offices last week. And I've just thought about it almost every day since then. Kim and I were texting back and forth. She was at work and I was at home, and she texted and asked if I had seen the name tags. Those little red and white peel and stick name tags. I sent her a message back and said I had seen them in the closet of the women's ministry house, or they were behind the desk, the women's desk. She said she checked both of those places, and the only other place I could think of was that they might be on my desk. They weren't, but I didn't know where else to look. She texted back and said, well, maybe we're just out. We go through a lot of name tags in the women's ministry. That's what she said. We go through a lot of name tags in the women's ministry. I have thought about that all week in relation to our identity in Christ. I have thought about the number of name tags that we go through. I have a name tag at work that says I'm Brandi Mullis. I'm the event coordinator for the women's ministry at Willowbrook. I have a name tag for the other job that I do. I have a passport and a driver's license. These are forms of my identity. I can use these to get onto an airplane. I can and have used those to get on an airplane. Those are my forms of identity. I have a marriage certificate that says I'm the wife of Jamie. I have birth certificates that say I am the mother of my 2 sons. Those are forms of my identity. Those are fact-based, information-based forms of my identity. And then I have all of the different name tags or thoughts of name tags that I stick on myself every time I scroll social media, or every time I look in the mirror when I'm getting dressed and I think about who I am. Sometimes it's the guilt that I am the mother driving through the drive-thru again and feeding my kids something from the drive-thru. Sometimes it is the guilt about our house not being clean and what kind of mother lets her kids live in this house that's not clean. Sometimes it's that I'm a bad daughter because I didn't call my mom this week. Sometimes it's that I'm a bad wife because my husband and I haven't been on one of those fancy date nights that we posted about on social media. I have a lot of identities that I put on myself. They're not really based on information. They're not really based on fact. Typically, they are based on my feelings, my emotions, and quite often on my exhaustion. Those are different. They're not based on anything real. In 1 Peter, Paul gives us it's 1 Peter. In 1 Peter, Peter gives us some real information about who we are. Real, fact-based information about who we are in Christ. 1 Peter 2, 9 through 10 says, "But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Once you were not a people, but now you are God's people. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Once I was not a people, but now I'm God's people. Now I'm a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. That is who God says that I am. That is a fact-based information-based form of my identity. It is not based on the lies of my emotions or how tired I am. It doesn't change whether I feed my children fast food or whether I have all the laundry done. It is as steady as God is. My identity, who I am in Christ, is based on Him and what He did on the cross. It is not based on the lies that my emotion tells me. Some days that's just hard for me to believe, but it's true. Today I am praying that you believe that about you, that you believe you are who God says you are. And I'm asking you if you'll pray that for me, that today, in the middle of exhaustion and in the middle of broken, that we all believe we are who God says we are, and that our identity comes through Christ's death on the cross. We are God's people, a chosen race, a royal priesthood. That is who we are today, not any of the other stuff. Thanks.